shine, your life ain't nothing. The human race is becoming a disgrace.
Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? Man, what is up with the end of the world for everybody? I've seen more and more of all these different end of the world scenarios. You got those who are on the religious side, those who are on the witchcraft side, those who are on the prophetic side. I mean, it's just ridiculous. What it comes down to is this. I said it before and I'll say it again. You can call on God to help you, but you also have to help yourself. If we keep getting divided by all these stupid things that are out there, instead of uniting and standing up against this evil, then the evil is going to win. That's all there is to it. But in the meantime, let's do what we can to get by and survive, shall we? I've had plenty of conversations about gold and silver recently, and I think it's time we had that little chat once again. Before I get started, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. You should have already been thinking about buying gold and silver. As a matter of fact, you should have already been buying gold and silver. And if you haven't yet and you're thinking about doing it, go to our friends over there at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description. If you are a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and you will get a free half ounce of silver. Right, let's just do a quick run by. Here we go. Cryptos are in a green the day before, red yesterday, green again today. This is what's going to keep happening for a while. Bitcoin's at $19,431. Ethereum's at $1,338. You can see that a lot of the cryptos are now in the green. They're just staying around the same price range. I don't need to go through all of the different prices. If we take a look at silver for the day, it's at $18.71 an ounce. And if you look at gold, it is at $1,654.50 an ounce. So I had a conversation with an individual who's been listening to my show now for a long time. And he expressed his concern that when gold and silver prices were rising up, he had heard what I had to say about gold and silver and thought it was a good time to move into the precious metals market. Of course, at the time he bought in, they were at the highest value. And since then, they've come back just a little bit, and he's lost a little bit of his investment. And I said, well, did you sell all your gold and silver? No, none of it. Well, then you haven't lost anything. I can't stress that enough. It's only a loss when you sell. I understand people always look at the paper market, like I just read off here for gold and silver. But that's not the true value of gold and silver. I've said this many of times. I've also included tons of snippets from various experts out there that know about gold and silver, so that you can hear what they have to say about gold and silver and not just take my word for it. I've been preaching about a worldwide economical crash since 2015 when I had my group, The Hidden Things in Front of Your Eyes, on Facebook before they removed it. We should have went into a heavy recession back in 2008, but instead, the Obama administration came up with a sneaky way to try to kick the can down the road. The reason for that is this World Economic Forum's Great Reset was not ready to do what they had planned to do. They were hoping that Obama would then transfer over to Hillary, and then Hillary would do 2 terms, and she would be the perfect candidate to help force all these draconian laws and force people to do stuff. They knew she had no problem being evil, no problem whatsoever. It didn't work out that way, obviously. So everything was postponed just a little bit. But make no doubt about it, they're trying to force us into this great reset. There are days when I look at everything and I go, man, there's just no way out of this. Then there's other days when I look at this and I go, there we go. I think we're going to come through this pretty good. It just depends on what's going on. There are days where I feel like we're winning and days that I feel like we're losing. Either way, I cannot stress this enough. The only way you are going to be out of the system is if you own gold and silver and you physically have it in your possession. Now, I understand a lot of you are holding large dollar amounts, like the gentleman I was talking to. He has so much gold and silver that he bought and invested into that he has it stored over there with money metals. They have their own segregated locker for you. It's not mixed in with other inventories, so you don't have to worry about calling up and asking for your precious metals to be delivered to you if you want them. Money metals make sure that your possessions are separate than others, and that it's also separated from the inventory that they use to sell. You can't say that about a lot of other gold and silver places that store it. They usually mix it all up. So let me show you something and why it is, once again, you should be holding on to gold and silver. And for those of you who bought into it, not to panic, hang tight. You'll be happy that you did. I told you there's going to be a domino effect and you're going to start seeing economies collapse. And this is a worldwide event. And those holding on to gold and silver are going to be able to ride out this storm. So this is gravitas. Just listen to a little clip about what's happening over there in India. So you can see down here in the corner, it says investors lose 85 billion in one day. That's the crash in the market. And you can see here, once Europe starts down this path, that's it. That's all she wrote. Everybody goes then, no matter what. So the Eurozone projected to enter recession in 2023. And we are probably going to be the last ones to go into it, like I said in the other video. So look at it this way. The United States is being used to crush other currencies around the world. They're going to crush them down so far that by the time the US dollar finally does crash, it'll be either on a level playing field with most currencies or won't have very much to catch up because of what the United States did. All they're doing is positioning themselves to be back in the lead once the dust settles on all the BS. So here you go. Here's India markets crash. Investors lose 85 billion in one day. Europe zone projected to enter recession in 2023. You can see right here, recession fears grip world economy. So there goes India right there. Australia's central bank has equity wiped out by billions in bond losses. This was just a few days ago. The bonds were accumulated under a $300 billion emergency stimulus program that ran from November 2020 to February of 2022. The losses eclipsed underlying earnings of $8.2 billion and left the central bank with an accounting loss of $36.7 billion. I think right now on our books for the Federal Reserve, they have $47.2 billion on the books that they're about to take a hit on. So there's Australia for you. I told you about Lebanon the other day. They're experiencing a bank run. And what is happening is people are robbing banks. Look at this is a lady. She robbed the bank to get her own money, not other people's money, her own money out of the bank. Can you imagine that? You're not trying to rob the bank of other people's monies. No, you just want your own damn money back. That's what's happening. So Lebanon is having issues. Slovakia, energy crisis could kill our economy, premier warns. So you can see right there, they need billions of euros of support from Brussels. Europe is bound to collapse. So it said the prediction consists of 10 phases, which has already happened. The West would likely respond with sanctions. Russia would respond by cutting off gas to Europe. This would lead to a huge spike in energy prices in Europe, pushing the continent into recession with high inflationary pressures. Inflation should reach double digits in 2 to 3 months, which I think it's already there now because this thing is a little bit older. This article is. You can see right here, it says the asset market would first fluctuate widely and then crash, which is exactly what's happening to us. Rampant inflation would force the European central banks to raise interest rates quickly, like here in the United States, and end the so-called pandemic emergency purchase program, which is the same thing we have here, and quantitative easing. The European banking sector would crumble. Government yields would explode. the Eurozone would fall apart. Europe would fall into a depression. And right after that will be the United States. Right after that. So are any of the countries in the world going to survive? How do you survive a recession or a depression? Well, that's funny because we actually know the answer. And there was a certain president that was trying to point this out for us and trying to prepare us for what was coming. But then a bunch of people believed all the lies that the media had to say about him, and then he was voted out of office. So what countries survive recessions and depressions? Those who produce, those who manufacture. We outsource all of our producing and manufacturing. China, Vietnam, we don't manufacture hardly anything in here anymore. Why the heck do you suppose Trump was trying to force all the manufacturing companies to come back here to the United States? He knew what was coming and he was trying to prepare us. No, let's hate the bad orange man. I don't think people are ever going to appreciate all he's done for this country until after he is long gone. Countries that manufacture, countries that produce will be the ones that survive recession and depression and will be able to come out of it much quicker than other countries because they provide a service that people need all around the world. Our corrupt politicians and corrupt corporations and bankers had put us in a position where they outsourced all of our manufacturing to countries with devalued currencies, and they were offered stocks into these companies as a way of saying thank you to the politicians. And now it looks like it's going to come back and bite us right in the tuchus. The other group of people that's going to be able to survive this are those holding on to gold and silver. As the value of the dollar decreases, the value of gold and silver go up. When the dust settles, whatever the new currency is, whatever the new value is, you'll be able to sell your gold and silver and come out of this almost unscathed versus all the other people that are out there. I'm hoping you're holding on to gold and silver. And if you bought a lot of it, stop looking at the paper market. That is not the true value of gold and silver. You're going to see here shortly the true value of gold and silver. I promise you. Anyways, that's it for now. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I will catch you later. I'm out.